Blurting out is extremely common in children with ADHD and executive functioning challenges. I like talking about the behavior, the science behind it, and the strategies so that parents understand the behavior, why they're seeing it, and then what strategies can help based on the science behind it. Blurting is common because children with ADHD lack that same inhibitory control, and those wait to respond circuits are super quick. So they'll think of something and they'll say it. They'll know the answer and they'll blurt it out. It gets the immediate reinforcement over the delayed gratification, and you get that speaking out instant reward that's triggered when we share what we know, or we ask the question, or we give the answer. It's also a function of working memory. The hold it and remember it to say later is really challenging for children with ADHD and executive functioning challenges. And so I don't want to forget it, so I'm just going to blurt it out. Now, there's different strategies that you can put in place. It doesn't work well to just pound them down and tell them to raise their hand and to wait their turn and all those sorts of things. You need to come up with some intentional strategies around blurting that are actually going to help based on their brain science. If you can give the child an immediate outlet, meaning they hold up a card, or they write it down, or they signal their teacher with a private cue that tells them that they know the answer, then they've gotten a little micro reward there of, yes, okay, I've been acknowledged. I didn't blurt it out, but I do know the answer. I do want to say something. That gives you the opportunity to then call on them. This works at home as well as at school. Call on them when it's their turn, and they can then ask their question. They can then say what they wanted to say. You can also do things like practicing games like red light, green light. There's different no-go, go apps that allow you to practice. Okay, you go now, but you don't go now. And we're practicing and building up that muscle of sometimes we get to go, sometimes we have to hold back our impulses. We have to, make that circuit a little bit longer in the wait to response. You can also help them by giving them little micro rewards like a token or a point, something that they can trade in that says, hey, I noticed that you didn't blurt out the answers. You signaled to me that you did know the answer and you didn't say it. This works at the dinner table too, because sometimes children that have ADHD will just blurt out and it's really hard to get anything out between all of the things that they're saying. And so having an opportunity to reinforce that pause can really help, and also giving them goals. They're very goal oriented. So your goal today is to raise your hand 3 times before blurting out. I will keep track and I will tally those, and then that can help, and we can earn some sort of, tiny reward or something along those lines for doing that. This works great too for children that ask a lot of questions, especially at home for parents. That can be really challenging, is the number of and frequency and intensity of questions. And so one thing that helps there is writing it down. I know you have a lot of questions right now. I need to get dinner on the table. Any questions that you have, I want you to just write yourself a little note, write it on your paper, and then we'll have some question answering time. That works really well I can speak from loads of experiences, that works really well to get those questions written down and have a question answering session, so you're not constantly being pinged with all the questions.